Our very first video on this channel was about the 2021 Formula 2 season. We pointed out some drivers that we thought were likely to do well. Well, the season has officially ended, so let's take a look back and see whether those drivers lived up to expectations.
Marcus Armstrong. He was the runner-up in F3 in 2019, but in 2020 he scored just 52 points and finished 13th in F2. This year we really expected him to step up, but he hasn't quite done that. He scored 49 points with one less race and finished 13th again. He did show flashes of brilliance, winning a sprint race at Jeddah and finishing second in another, but he struggled with consistency in qualifying.
Christian LUNDGAARD. LUNDGAARD has spent 1 year in F3 and 1 year in F2 prior to this season, finishing 6th and 7th respectively. He was fastest of all in pre-season testing, and we felt the stability of being with ART for 3 years in a row would help him achieve his full potential. Not so, unfortunately. 3 sprint race podiums stand alone in a season where LUNDGAARD failed to finish any higher than 7th in a feature race. He fell to 12th in the championship standings. 0 for 2 on predictions from us.
THEO POURCHAIRE. POURCHAIRE, much like his teammate, continued with ART Grand Prix this year. In 2020, he was the runner-up in the F3 Championship, winning 2 races, and this year, in his rookie F2 season, he won another 2 races, including a very impressive lights to flag victory in the feature race at Monaco. Despite injuries in the feature races in Baku and Jeddah, he was able to finish 5th in the championship, which is very impressive for the 18-year-old.
GUANYU ZHOU. ZHOU has been in the news recently as the newest graduate to Formula 1. After finishing 7th and 6th in F2 in the last 2 years, it felt as though ZHOU was starting to stagnate. But we felt that he could step it up and add some more victories to his sole win from 2020. He managed that on 4 occasions this year, including feature race wins at Bahrain and Silverstone. That gave him 3rd overall, just 9 points off 2nd place. A good year for ZHOU.
PIASTRI. You wouldn't know it was his first year in F2. The Aussie won the title by more than 60 points. PIASTRI is an absolute talent. Predicting him in the top 3 wasn't a difficult call at all this year. Still, we're surprised at just how good he was, especially in the latter half of the season. He won every single one of the last 4 feature races. He hasn't got a full-time seat in F1 next year, and that's an absolute travesty, although he is the reserve driver for Alpine.
Robert Schwartzman. We reckon Schwartzman was the favourite to win the title, as he won the F3 title in 2019 and finished 4th in F2 in 2020 in his rookie year. He may have been overshadowed by his Prema teammate, and the 2 sprint race wins may not have been exactly what he was looking for, but he did continue to improve as the season went on and secured 2nd in the championship over ZHOU in the final race. We wouldn't want to finish this video without throwing out a couple of shout-outs to drivers who didn't make it onto our top 6 at the start of this year.
Dan Ticktum may be a hothead, but he was able to direct his emotions into his driving and take 4th in the championship this year, a decent improvement on his 11th place in 2020. Next year, he'll be driving in Formula E.
Juri Vips. Only 4 different drivers won feature races this year: PIASTRI, ZHOU, POURCHAIRE and Juri Vips. Vips raced for 1/3 of the F2 season in 2020 and had a good weekend at Mugello that year. This time around he took sprint and feature race victories at Baku and was 6th in the championship overall. And there you have it, the 6 drivers we thought would battle it out for the F2 trophy. Some lived up to expectations, some didn't, and others stepped up to give us a great season. How do you reckon we did in picking our top contenders?